Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on SUI. I wouldn't call it an urgent update because obviously it's Sunday, so the volume in the price action is, it's not really volatile. So I feel like it's a little bit of clickbait when I would call this an urgent update, but it is an important update for SUI. Because we've had a breakdown in structure we haven't seen, I would argue, since April, right? So since some strength started, and since we bottomed out right here, the 7th of April. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and it's in a bearish way. Now, do I think it's completely over for SUI? No, certainly not. However, at this point of time, it's just not looking great, and neither fundamentally, but especially also not technically. All right, if you take a look at a lot of these major coins, a lot of them are still holding some sort of an uptrend on the higher time frames, especially when we're taking a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. And SUI, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, has lost that, right? You can see the trend band right here. The main trend, the 50 EMA, is at 3.41, which is also a crucial level normally. And as you can see right now, we've dropped down below that. And not only have we dropped down below that, no, we've also dropped down below that with some pretty high volume, right? So that means that there's more certainty that it is a real breakdown. And while the fundamentals were down. Now, I have to say, the fundamentals 2 days ago, if you take a look at the DEX trading volumes, were higher, all right? So if we actually do get some sort of a fundamental revival, that would be amazing news, right? Because one of the key things I spoke about last week when I covered SUI was my fear that what happened with the hack of Cetus and then the subsequent freezing of funds by validators, not by SUI specifically, by the way, if some of you still think that. But there was quite a lot of FUD, right? And there was quite a lot of, just in general, some critique on SUI. Some of it ungrounded, but still. But we also saw that the data, the fundamentals were much worse compared to before the hack. Now we've seen a bit of an increase. It's going to be important to monitor that, because if that's good, then obviously we have a higher chance to actually recover a bit. But ultimately, the fundamentals, that's a work in progress. We have to take a look at the technicals, all right? And the last time I covered SUI, I was still mildly optimistic, but that was on Friday. And Friday, obviously, we just had Thursday. Thursday was quite bearish. Thursday with quite a lot of bearish pressure, while normally on a Thursday we have quite a lot of strength. So that was already a sign to think, oh, what's going on? Why is it different? So on Friday, I already told you that, yeah, I still thought it was most likely we would bounce up, but I would not buy it, right? Because there also wasn't a lot of strength, and we had a bad Thursday. And we broke down, all right? So we broke down below 3.43 and have now dropped down into the previous support level right here, around 3.05. I spoke about this pullback and this the potential of this drop on Friday as well. But what this means is that, whereas, first of all, we still had a bit of a structure like we also had right here at the end of April, right, with a consolidation lower and a rally, consolidation lower and a rally, potentially. Now that's invalidated, right? And not only is that invalidated, no, on the daily time frame, like I said, we also broke down below the trend. So in my opinion, if we just go off of the fundamentals and the technicals, I think you have to be slightly bearish on SUI, unfortunately. All right, because like I said, if the fundamentals actually continue recovering and continue recovering and continue becoming better over the course of the next week, like, do we have a chance to get back up? Yes. And do I think we're going to get into a downtrend? No, not necessarily. I think it's actually a little bit more likely, especially since we're still holding this major support level right here at 2.8 and $3. I think it's more likely that we're going to get into some sort of a consolidation. But the only way in which we could still get up to 4.5 and 4.6 and $5, which was always my first price target, is if over the next 24 hours, SUI is going to be able to reclaim this level right here at 3.45 with strength. All right. Now, is that a possibility? Yes. Do I think it's most likely at this point of time? No. All right. I'm not getting enough from the fundamentals. I'm not getting enough from the open interest. I'm not getting enough from the volume. And I'm not getting enough from Bitcoin. All right. So even though I think it's a possibility, I would say it's a little bit more likely looking at SUI right now. What am I doing? This is Solana. Give me SUI, please. But no, I would say it's more likely that, yes, we'll hold this level right here at 2.85 and above that, but still 2.85. I think we'll hold that, but ultimately I think it's more likely we will remain stable up there instead of getting a bullish breakout. I'll keep you updated on that. If anything happens, if we get a little bit more indications that we can actually break out, look, I'll be the first to tell you. But for now, I think that's what you need to know, and I think that's best to assume is going to happen. Those are my thoughts. Have a great Sunday. Take care, and bye.